When Hc century Paris was still shrouded in the gloom of religious despotism, a scholar with a wig and sharp eyes was writing furiously at his desk, the tip of his pen whagged the paper, making a rustling sound, as if debating with the entire old world. "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." This inspiring famous quote is his most precious spiritual legacy to mankind. He is François-Marie Arouet, better known by his pen name Voltaire, as the standard-bearer of the French Enlightenment. Voltaire lit the torch of reason with his pungent satire, profound philosophy, and unremitting struggle, illuminating the path of mankind towards freedom and progress. From letters concerning the English nation to Candide, from the criticism of religious persecution to the advocacy of scientific spirit, his thoughts, like a fixed star, have passed through 3 centuries of storms, and still shine in the sky of human civilization. On November 1897, Voltaire was born into a wealthy notary family in Paris. His father hoped that he would become a lawyer, but the young Voltaire had a strong interest in literature and philosophy. He received education at the Collège Louis le Grand founded by the Jesuits, where he was exposed to classical literature and the seeds of Enlightenment thought, and also developed a skeptical spirit towards religious dogma. In 1897, after the death of Louis XIV, France entered the Regency period, and the social atmosphere gradually relaxed. Voltaire began to emerge in the salons of Paris. He was famous for his witty speech and sharp pen, creating satirical poems and comedies, sharply criticizing the corruption of the aristocracy and the hypocrisy of the church. However, this criticism also got him into trouble. In 1897, he was imprisoned in the Bastille for satirizing the regent Duke of Orleans. Ends in prison. He completed his first tragedy Oedipus, which was a success after being staged after his release, making him famous. In 1897, Voltaire was arrested again for a conflict with the aristocracy. After his release, he was forced to go into exile in England. During his 3 years in England, he was deeply influenced by the English bourgeois revolution and Enlightenment ideas, met famous scientists and thinkers such as Newton and Locke, and inspected England's constitutional monarchy and religious tolerance policy. This experience became an important turning point in the development of his thought. Later, he sorted out his experiences and thoughts into letters concerning the English nation, also known as English Letters, systematically introducing Britain's political, economic, cultural and scientific achievements, and fiercely attacking France's feudal system and religious despotism. After the book was published in France in 1896, it was immediately banned, and Voltaire had to start his exile life again. Since then, Voltaire traveled around France, once lived in the court of the Duchy of Lorraine, and had close contacts with Frederick II of Prussia, but finally parted ways due to ideological differences. In 1897, he settled in the Château de Ferney in Switzerland, which became the center of European Enlightenment thought. Scholars, thinkers, and revolutionaries from various countries came to visit. Through a large number of letters and works, Voltaire continued to spread his ideas and fight against the conservative forces in Europe. Voltaire's thought is like a prism, refracting the rational light of the Enlightenment era, and its core can be summarized as the pursuit of freedom, equality, reason, and progress. Opposing religious despotism and advocating religious tolerance is one of the most distinctive features of Voltaire's thought. He profoundly exposed the hypocrisy, greed, and cruelty of the Catholic Church, calling it the embodiment of superstition and the root of ignorance. In his philosophical dictionary, he sharply criticized the doctrines of Christianity and the history of the Church, pointing out that religious persecution is the most barbaric and cruel act in human history. But Voltaire did not oppose religion itself. He believed that religion has a certain role in maintaining social order, advocated freedom of belief and religious tolerance, and put forward, even if there is no God, we must create one. He emphasized that religion should be separated from science and reason, and opposed the Church's interference in national politics and social life. Advocating freedom and equality is another important content of Voltaire's thought. The freedom he spoke of mainly refers to freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of belief. He believed that these freedoms are inalienable natural rights of human beings, and an important driving force for social progress. He wrote in on freedom. Freedom is a natural right, enjoyed by everyone, and should not be violated in any way. At the same time, Voltaire also advocated equality before the law, opposed the feudal hierarchy and aristocratic privileges, and believed that everyone should obtain corresponding social status according to their own abilities and contributions, rather than relying on birth and family background. Admiring reason and science is the cornerstone of Voltaire's thought. Deeply influenced by Newtonian mechanics and Locke's empiricism, he believed that reason is the only tool for human beings to understand and transform the world, and science is a powerful force to promote human progress. He actively publicized Newton's scientific achievements, translated and introduced Newton's works, and regarded Newton's mechanical system as a model of reason overcoming ignorance. He also personally conducted scientific research and experiments, and dabbled in fields such as astronomy and physics. He believed that only through rational thinking and scientific methods can human beings get rid of the shackles of superstition and prejudice, understand the laws of nature and society, and realize their own liberation and development. Advocating enlightened monarchy is Voltaire's main view on the political system. Although he opposed feudal despotism, he did not advocate the complete overthrow of the monarchy. Instead, he hoped that through an enlightened monarch, reforms could be carried out to achieve political freedom, economic development, and social progress. He once pinned his hopes on Frederick II of Prussia and Catherine II of Russia, believing that they could become promoters of reform. This kind of thought reflected the weakness and compromise of the French bourgeoisie at that time, but under the historical conditions at that time, it still had positive significance for opposing feudal despotism and spreading Enlightenment ideas.